Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, and it's actually been a while since I've done a foundation review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. I got a huge PR package from them, which was so surprising. I did not even expect this to come in the mail. All of these shades are in little sample bottles, and then they gave me 3 shades that they thought would fit me, but they actually don't. So I'm going to be using some of the sample shades today just to find what will work for my skin tone. For reference, I am a light medium skin tone at the moment with a strong yellow undertone. A lot of drugstore foundations fail to go that yellow with me, so a lot of the times it comes out looking a little ashy, a little pale, or even pink on my skin. I want to try out this shade real quick on my face before I zoom you guys in so you guys can compare it to my neck. This one is 160 Warm Desert. Too dark for me. My dogs are in the background, they're on my bed. So 160 Warm Desert is definitely not my shade. I picked the shade that was like definitely in the middle of the bunch. So I picked it on the bottom row here. So I'm gonna go towards the second row to find something that still says that it's warm. Warm Caramel is the number 100. This one definitely looks pretty good. I think we actually just might go in with that one, but we'll look at the other shades here. I'm just gonna test out Warm Cashew, which is 070. Why do I feel like this could also work too? Oh, you know why? These shades oxidize. They really do, because this is starting to oxidize to look a little bit more on the orange side, and then this side it's slowly starting to work into my skin, and then the first shade here is now significantly darker. So you know what, I think for safe measure we actually might go in with the Warm Cashew shade, which is really surprising because it's in the first row, and I don't really consider myself to be someone super light, but I mean, I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt this time because I have been inside and I haven't been getting a tan. So yeah, today we're going to be using 070 Warm Cashew. I zoomed you guys in so that you guys could see the application plus my bare skin. So as you see, my skin is not necessarily perfect today. I do have some blemishes. They're not quite smoothed out, like they're still a little bumpy, and I also do have just like some dark spots from residual acne. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a pretty basic primer for my skin. I'm using the Juno Moonshine primer. This is just hydrating but also smooths out the skin. It's not oil controlling, so at the end of the day we are gonna see if this foundation just happens to break down faster than others. I am a normal skin type, but right in between my eyebrows right here, that's the only part of my face that gets oily. Other than that, nowhere else. When I am shopping for foundations, I am genuinely shopping for something that will of course match me because I feel like a lot of the times it's hard for me to find a good color match. I also want something that'll last on my skin for a pretty long time, but also give me a lot of coverage if possible. So I want it to be buildable, and I want it to look the same as it did from when I started. As far as the finishes of foundations are concerned, I'm not super picky. I can go either super matte, demi matte, natural, or super dewy, but with hydrating foundations, sometimes I feel like at the end of the day, they can look a little too dewy and almost like I have bacon grease on my face. So that is something I actually want to avoid today. I'm just going to lightly dot this all over the face while I read you the claims. So this one just says it's a hydrating vegan foundation with a feathery, light, long-lasting formula that provides moisture for 24 hours. Essence also gave me this sponge. It's called the Makeup and Baking Sponge. It's really dense, but I'm gonna use this for my face today. It's made with hyaluronic acid and aloe vera to nurture skin and provide a flawless natural finish with buildable coverage that lasts up to 24 hours. It's available in 31 shades, which is the most Essence has ever came out with in a foundation line, which is true because their foundation line usually only has 4 shades. This foundation also retails for $7, or if you want to be really specific, $6.99. It's available on essencemakeup.com, Ulta, or Shoppers Drug Mart. And then the rest of the claims are that it's gluten-free, alcohol-free, paraben-free, oil-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. This is the reason why I do not like dense sponges. As you see, there are darker spots on the sponge, and that just means it's soaking up the product a lot more. And I feel like with that, it's giving me like the lightest bit of coverage, which is fine, but that's definitely not what I'm going for. So I'm gonna switch sponges just to see what this is all about. So far, this is what one layer looks like, and this is with the Essence sponge. Not too bad, not too shabby, but definitely not the type of coverage I'm going for. Like honestly, with this type of coverage, I'd rather just not wear foundation. This foundation also is not like the super watery foundation, and it's not super thick. It's definitely in the middle, which is nice. I do like that a lot. I'm just applying it as normal, nothing crazy. Here we go with the second layer, and then I switched sponges to my Shop Missy Paw Paw Wonder Blender, which is my holy grail. And I want to see if this is buildable, because that's a claim in a foundation that I really, really enjoy. Although it doesn't claim to be buildable, I just want to see where it goes for myself. Here is the second layer. As you see, not much of a difference, but it did build up the coverage to now like a light medium. I feel like I can only like see a little bit of my acne, which is good. Mostly just my forehead, but honestly spot concealing will do the trick for me. My skin looks nice. It feels like I have something on my face, but honestly, I think it'll like settle down a little bit later since it's just freshly applied. Honestly, I was going to stop filming right now, but it just came into my little noggin that why not use the foundation to its fullest extent? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a lighter foundation for my concealer, and then I'm gonna use the darker foundation that we had initially, which was Warm Desert, for my little bronzer moment. So that way we could see in all aspects of my face how it wears. My concealer shade is going to be 020 Neutral Alabaster. Now, typically for my concealers, I will go a little bit neutral just to cancel out any of the darkness like under the eyes or anything like that. I just feel like I could go either warm or neutral in those areas, but for the actual foundation, neutral is a no-go. So now you'll be able to see with the concealer and bronzer how well it will layer with 3 layers now. You know, I can appreciate that despite having 3 layers on my skin looks like skin. And that's really, really amazing to me. Here we go with that Warm Desert shade that was a little too dark on me. I'm just gonna use that in the areas that I would normally apply my bronzer. And we're gonna blend it out just to see. So this is everything blended out now. My skin's looking really good. My skin's looking really nice, really natural, pretty dewy. So now that this is all done, I'm just going to apply just like my brows, a little bit of eyeshadow, some mascara, and lips, and then I'll come back at the end of the day to do a wear test. Currently it is 1 p.m. so I am hoping to have this on for about like 8 hours. It is pretty hot today, and I do plan on taking my dogs out for a walk, so we will see how well it holds up with sweat too. Hey queens, it's the end of the day. Oh my gosh. So I have quite a bit to say. I really do. But first I want to show you guys what the face looks like at the end of the day here. There we go. Pretty dewy, hydrated. My forehead, as expected, is looking a little shiny, but not as shiny as some dewy foundations. Let's address the elephant in the room. The center of my face is the most shiny, which I honestly did not anticipate. I actually anticipated my forehead to be the shiniest, so to have my nose and my cheeks all shiny like this, it kind of makes me think, well, underneath a mask, this would not be okay because it would transfer off. And speaking of transfer, whenever I did touch my face today, it felt like I was wearing foundation, and it felt like it was transferring onto my fingertips, and I just did not like that at all. Mind you, I did not set my face with powder today, so all that I did was the darker foundation for my bronzer. I did a liquid blush and a liquid highlight, and that's it. No powder aside from my eyeshadows today, and I just feel like it's very reminiscent of the Shop Missy A+ foundation, the satin foundation, where it's very dewy, it's very lightweight on the skin. You can build it up, but it just has this feeling when you don't set it that it's just sitting on top of the skin and it's ready to just be rubbed off. And I actually accidentally rubbed it off on my forehead right here. I accidentally scratched myself because I was itchy, and it's completely gone. It's completely red. And as far as like the coverage is concerned, I asked my sister how she liked my foundation. She said it was a basic foundation, nothing too special about it. And she said I looked very fresh and natural. And that's kind of what I do like about this foundation. It's very natural, very reminiscent of, say, like a BB cream. I was cleaning my old backpacks and I found this Clean and Clear oil blotting sheets. I don't use Clean and Clear, but you know what? Why throw these away? They're good. They're still good to use. I don't use Clean and Clear because they do test on animals, plus a lot of their products, they just don't work on my skin. But we're gonna go ahead and see how oily and greasy my face is from this foundation. And I don't use oil blotting sheets a whole lot because I don't get oily. That's not my skin type. But because this foundation is dewy, you are going to get the oil payoff. So here's what the oil blotting sheet looks like. When I was dabbing it, it felt really sticky on the skin. It wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like you just, you know, just tap it on and it's not a big deal, like really stuck to the face. So this is how much oil came off. Not too bad, but I just think this is one of those foundations that just needs a very light layer of powder at the very minimum. You can bake with this, but I feel like once you start baking with this type of formula, it's too light and too liquidy for you to get away with baking, because then it's going to alter the formula, making it look cakey and making it look heavy on the skin. But now that we had blotted the face, this is what it looks like. Still very, very natural. I think for $7, I think this is kind of what I expected. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. It wasn't too dewy, but you know, it was a little bit more dewier than I anticipated in areas that I didn't anticipate oil. Honestly, I think that pretty much wraps up all of my thoughts that I have for you today. I'm pretty impressed with the Essence foundation, and honestly, I would recommend it. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it for those who like a light to buildable medium coverage foundation, something that's affordable, something that has quite a bit of shade range. I know sometimes a drugstore doesn't have a lot of shade range, and for Essence, 31 shades is a lot. So congratulations to them on actually taking the leap of faith and creating darker shades. That's really amazing. So I hope you guys all really enjoy this review. Let me know what you think of this foundation in the comments down below. Do you think you would like it? I wonder. As always, I love you all so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Peace out, Girl Scouts.